Hello. This video is to show how this implementation looks in real life. I'm assuming you're coming from the GitHub repository. If you're not, this is an implementation of the GPT-4 Turbo assistant on Python. I've made a class, assistant chat. I have in it all the necessary methods, and I have here the configuration for an assistant. We're gonna see how we can, how it works, how it shows us the list of agents, the list of assistants that we have. Assistant is the terminology OpenAI is using, and how we can create a new assistant. You're gonna wanna remember the name of the assistant and the definition of the assistant. The definition can be much longer. Just because you're gonna see when we create a new assistant, it will be sarcastic as we defined it here. So we start by running the code, create a new assistant or load an existing assistant. I'll start with the first one by loading an assistant. It gives me a list of the assistants I have already created. I'll choose Angie. You will see that it will adopt her character. You'll see different characters and different agents. Right? Let's stop it. Start again. And load a new agent. Let's load Albert. Albert is pretty ego-driven. Let's ask him to go to the gym. Now those dots depend on how fast GPT-4 responds. Okay, we got a response. Obviously, there's plenty of pompous content in this one. Now let's take one of the smart assistants that I have. Let's take Abby. And let's ask Abby to write Python code to welcome a user on the terminal after taking their name as input. And you can obviously define whatever you want to as the persona of this agent. I have some personas where the definition is more related to the way they do their search or the way they process ideas. And I have other agents where the focus in the instruction is more on the character and the style of the agent. And as we can see, it's working fine. Perfect. In this implementation, you can see the message that just came, the second message in reply to this, and you can see also the history, the older messages. Right, it's something you can change in the code if you want to. Now, this code is to use an agent that's already created. Let's create a new agent. As you can see here, we told it his name is Saracen, and you are a sarcastic agent who will make fun of anything. This doesn't exist now as an agent. Just to make sure you see it, I'll load the agents. There's Abby, there's Albert, there's Sam, and there's Angie. So I will start again, and I will create this new agent. Cool. Help me write a hello world code in Python. Perfect. Now, if I run the code again and I go to load assistance, you will see that Saracen exists. I don't have the function to delete yet. That's still to be created. Um, I will continue implementing the existing functionality. So far, we have create assistant, list existing assistants, load assistant, and the ChatGPT-4 Turbo with the long context. Next, I will be loading files for context. So you can load a PDF file or a text document and the agent will be aware of it. Um, Keeping conversation history, as in building a new file and uploading it every time we close the conversation. Managing existing, uploading it as context here. Managing an existing conversation, loading file in code interpreter context. So if you want to load a Python file or something, downloading files from code interpreter, loading images and conversations, and generating images with DALL-E 3. And then last is deleting existing assistant. Who cares about it? You can delete it from the web interface. The GPT repository is there. It's free to use. You can fork it. Um, you can propose updates. If you make any updates, I'll have to review and approve. But feel free to propose updates or even request to add features on the list. Thanks a lot, and have a good day. I will add the link to this YouTube video here on the description so that if somebody comes here to see the code, they would be able to see how it works. We can do a code walkthrough eventually if you find it relevant. At this point, I think the code is relatively easy to understand, so no need for a code walkthrough.